Good evening. Welcome to the Kent County Board of Adjustment November meeting. Can you please call roll, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Carter?
Here.
Mr. Jenkins?
Here.
Ms. Denny?
Here.
Mr. Cusick?
Here.
Mr. Gallo?
Here.
Thank you. That is 5 present.
Thank you. With 5 present, we have a quorum. At this time, everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Any additions or alterations to tonight's agenda?
Yes, sir. The old business item, A25-25, it needs to be removed.
Thank you. Public hearing introduction.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jesse Lindenberg, and I will preside as the hearing officer for tonight's public hearing. This hearing is being conducted for the purpose of providing the citizens of the county an opportunity to present testimony on these applications before the Kent County Board of Adjustment. Everyone will have an opportunity to speak. This will provide those who wish an opportunity to give their testimony. If there is a group of interested citizens in favor or opposed to any of the applications, they may wish to elect one spokesperson among them to present testimony to the board. There is an official recording of these proceedings being made. Therefore, we ask that only one person speak at a time and that they speak clearly. Furthermore, there shall be no cross-examination of witnesses permitted during the public hearing, but the board can ask the applicant questions after any opposition if necessary. As a courtesy to other participants in this hearing, a maximum of 5 minutes will be allotted to any person who wishes to provide testimony. The chairperson of the board has the discretion to allow additional time if deemed to be necessary. To make statements when your application is called and for the record, please give your name, address, and allow our attorney to swear you in prior to providing testimony. Copies of any written statements or exhibits used during the hearing should be presented for identification so that they may be included in the permanent record. The procedure on each variance application will be as follows. The legal notice will be read on each case prior to the receipt of testimony. There will be a brief explanation of the application by the staff. The board will then receive testimony from all of those in favor of the application, followed by testimony of those who may be opposed. Once those persons in favor and those in opposition have had an opportunity to speak on the hearing of the application, that hearing will be declared closed. Decisions on all applications heard this evening will be made by the board during the business meeting following the public hearing. However, you are not required to remain after the public hearing once your request has been heard and closed. During the business meeting, the board will consider all information of record. A common vote of 4 members of the board shall be required to make a decision on each application. If you do not wish to wait for the business meeting later this evening, you may call the Kent County Planning Department tomorrow between 8 and 5 at 744-2471 to learn of the board's ruling. All applicants will receive written notification of the board's decision. This notice may not be mailed until after the next scheduled meeting, but if approved, you are welcome to apply for any necessary permits prior to receiving this by mail. Please keep this decision in your records for both you and all future property owners. The public notice of this evening's hearing was published on October 31st, 2025 in the Delaware State News. In addition, all of the subject properties were posted with a sign prior to the hearing to further notify the public of the nature of the applications. Also, just to introduce, as I said, my name is Jesse Lindberg. I'm the hearing officer. To my left is Mark Kennedy. He is our IT specialist. And down on the end, we have Mr. Fred Townsend, the attorney for the board.
Thank you, Jesse. This time we'll have statement by counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A quick thing about the item removed from today's agenda. It will return as an old business item on the December agenda, and it'll be referred to as a motion for reconsideration to address an unfinished or an unaddressed question that was raised as part of the appeal. You're going to receive a memo from me before that December meeting. You'll also receive written submissions from the parties, which are quite short, and it's anticipated that there will not be a public hearing. It will be strictly based on the evidence and argument that was presented at the September or October meeting. I'm not certain at present whether there will be any additional argument or whether the respective council will be here just to answer questions. So it should not involve, shouldn't be as involved as the original hearing. And then regarding tonight's hearing, we have 2 requests for relief from the zoning code. The standards for the granting of variances are set forth by the Delaware Supreme Court in a case known as Board of Adjustment versus Quick Check Realty. The standard applied to area variances considers whether a literal interpretation of zoning regulations results in exceptional practical difficulties of ownership. And to make that determination, the board weighs the following 4 factors: the nature of the zone where the property lies, the character and uses in the immediate vicinity, whether removal of the restriction on the applicant's property would seriously affect neighboring properties, and lastly, whether failure to remove the restriction would create exceptional practical difficulty for the owner in relation to the owner's efforts to make normal improvements to the property. This factor is satisfied only when the difficulties alleged are practical rather than theoretical and exceptional rather than routine. Note that the inability to improve one's business or stay competitive as a result of area limitations may qualify as a legitimate exceptional practical difficulty, and it's here where the board considers whether the applicant is seeking more than is minimally necessary to relieve the asserted difficulty. In general, the board's not permitted to consider factors other than the 4 listed, so therefore those speaking in support of and in opposition to applications are urged to present only information bearing on those 4 factors, which, quickly restated, are 1, the zoning district; 2, the character of the immediate vicinity; 3, the effect on neighboring properties; and 4, whether the applicant faces exceptional practical difficulties of ownership. In particular, the presenters are asked to exclude from the presentations any evidence of acrimony between the applicant and neighboring property owners, as the board is not authorized to settle those disputes. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my statement.
Thank you, Mr. Townsend. This time we'll begin public hearing.
Our first application tonight is A 25-30 for Willis and Doris Gingrich. They are seeking a variance from the requirement that accessory structures shall not be located in the front yard or front yard setback unless located 100 feet from the front property line to legalize the existing detached garage. The property is located on the north side of Still Road, approximately 0.56 miles east of Mahan Corner Road, west of Camden. Levy Court District is the 6th. Zoning District is AC. Here you'll see on the exhibit what is currently on the property. There was an existing manufactured home with an addition and an attached garage. The applicant will be demolishing the manufactured home and is looking to keep that detached garage with the new dwelling that's located in the back there. So the existing garage will be left at 94 feet from the property line, and the new home that will be left is at 152 feet. Is there someone here to represent the application? If you please step up to the podium, please state your name and your address and allow our attorney to swear you in. You can also adjust the mic as needed. Just real quick, here's the front of the property, up the road, down the road. Looking at the property from the roadway, you can see the new home in the back. Coming up the driveway, this here is the detached garage that they're looking to keep. Back towards the road, aerial, and further out. Go ahead, ma'am.
So name and address for the record, please.
Doris Gingrich, and my address is 2111 Still Road in Camden, Delaware.
Ms. Gingrich, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you may proceed. It sounds to me like the mic might not be close enough.
Okay.
There we go.
Closer. That better? Okay. So, yes, the garage is attached to the single-wide trailer and the addition, and the trailer and the addition are slated for demolition. We would like to keep the garage because it is 94 feet from the road instead of the 100 feet. And I don't know if you need all the details about the garage. It has the slab foundation, vinyl siding, has a one people door, garage door, shingle roof. It's structurally sound. And if we would have to remove the garage, we would also have to relocate the electrical box, which is attached to the house in the back. So there is an electrical box attached to the garage, and then the septic line is in back of the garage about 15 feet there, and it goes to behind the residence. There's no other storage building on the property. The well is also 25 feet north of the garage, and the garage is only used for storing lawn equipment and woodworking tools. I don't know if you need the reason. The demolition of the trailer was delayed because after we got the permit for occupancy, we had 30 days to remove the trailer. My husband developed dementia, so he wasn't able to help me, and so it was left to me to remove it, and so it wasn't done in a timely manner. So we are working on getting the trailer and the addition demolished with the old deck as well. So, yeah, we would like to leave that garage. That is the only garage on the dwelling, and it's very close to the 100 feet required setback. Yeah, the septic is in the front, so I don't know if there's any other things you need to know.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I have one. Did you give us the date for when the demolition is supposed to occur?
Yeah, the occupancy permit was August of '24, so it should have been done September '24.
I thought in your testimony you said it's going to be done. It's not been done, correct?
No, it's not been done.
So when is that scheduled date? That's what I was asking.
So we're waiting on the demolition permit once this variance is taken care of. So we could not go ahead with the demolition. The county inspector was out, and he said we can't go ahead to demo this because we don't know how much we can demo yet. So we're waiting for this decision tonight so we can get the demo permit. Does that make sense? Okay.
So I have a question. When we're looking at this, everything in blue, the deck, everything in blue, the manufactured home,
Right.
the addition, is to be
Demolished.
demolished?
Yes.
Okay. And did anyone, as within the planning, as you were going through these steps, which you seem to be following pretty well, did anybody mention that you would have to demolish them before you would be permitted to use the dwelling?
No.
Are you
I was-
using the dwelling now?
We are. We have the occupancy permit for the dwelling, and we were told that we had 30 days after the occupancy to remove the manufactured home. So, yeah, here we are a year later, and it's,
So
Yes.
right now, you're kind of in violation of that.
Right, right.
With, I understand circumstances, but, and in the front where it says septic 3-bedroom dwelling, you're referring to the manufactured home.
The septic was, yeah, that was for the manufactured home, and it's also for the home that's in back.
Okay.
The dwelling. Yeah, it's all it's the same
Okay,
septic.
all right. Thank you.
I have an additional question. Are there any current uses for any of this that you're going to demolish? Is it being used in any way?
No, no,
But you do intend to use the garage, correct?
right, yeah.
ingress and egress for the garage is, because you just come up the driveway, and when these are gone, I mean, you must now go in from behind because it's right up against,
The driveway is to the right of the manufactured home. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, the garage is behind the mobile home.
okay, I see.
Can you just touch base on the placement of the new dwelling? The
new
152
dwelling?
Yeah, the 152 feet, why was it placed there?
Okay,
I mean, I think I'd know just because I think the existing well probably played a factor. in it.
okay, yeah, the well is between the garage and the house. It is 25 feet, I think it is, from the garage. And see what else goes around. Yeah, the electric wires and all go behind the garage around to the back of the new house. And the septic and the water line also go around to the back.
Any other questions? All right, I think we're good. Appreciate it.
Okay,
Yep, thank you.
thank you.
Is there anyone else present that would like to speak in favor of the application? Is there anyone online?
We have no members from the general public online at this time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else present that would like to speak in opposition of the application? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing for application A 25-30. Our next application is A 25-31. Daniel Clow seeks a variance from the requirement that detached accessory dwelling unit shall maintain half of the principal structure's rear setback to apply for a detached accessory dwelling unit. The property is located on the west side of Tobacco Road, approximately 0.27 miles north of Mud Mill Road, west of Camden. Levy Court District is the 6th, zoning district is AR. Here is the overview of the property. So they are placing a new house as well. So this one in the back will be removed. This is the new house to be kept. And in the back here is the proposed ADU. It is 9 feet from the property line, and they are required to be 15 feet from the property line. This is looking at the property, the new home, up the road, down the road, looking at the accessory dwelling unit in the back, just behind the accessory dwelling unit to the rear property line there, the other side of the accessory dwelling unit, looking back up the driveway from the ADU, looking back up again, closer to the aerial, and further out. Is there someone here to represent the application? Please state your name and address and allow our attorney to swear you in.
I'm Nick Smith. Address is 67 Refuge Run, Camden, Delaware. I'm here representing Daniel Cloud for this.
Could you repeat your name again for me, please?
Nick Smith.
Smith?
Smith.
Mr. Smith, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And can you start with a statement regarding your capacity in this? You say you're representing the applicant.
Yes, I'm helping.
What's your role in this?
Daniel Cloud is brother-in-law, so I'm helping him with being compliant with the ADU home.
So you're a family member?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
So we're asking for a variance of 6 feet, I believe, for the ADU unit. We are compliant with electric, septic, foundation, tie downs. We meet all requirements for a tiny home for this dwelling to be on the property. We're just seeking a variance for the 6 feet for it to remain in place. We have positive drainage in the yard. The electric, I mean, moving it would be a very extensive hardship to maneuver it for 6 feet.
Can you just touch base on the overall property, like what's there now existing? What's the proposed I guess
So we
that's,
have a proposed house up front that's on the property right now. We have the existing trailer just behind it, and then we have the ADU attached or detached dwelling right behind it.
so they're all currently, all three of those are currently,
They are all
property.
three current on the property right now.
Pull the microphone a little bit
I'm
closer,
sorry.
and then you can also touch the screen on your right there to,
Oh, okay. Yeah, so everything is existing right now on the property as you see it on the plan.
Is the manufactured house that's behind the proposed house, is that going away?
Yes.
Okay. And the need for the ADU, who lives in there, who will be living there? What's the
Mother-in-law is currently there.
And
She had a emergency and we had to find a place for her pretty fast. So she got placed there.
so that's whatever she's living in existed there, or you put it there when the emergency happened?
The emergency happened about a year ago. So
And
she
so-
got placed there then.
And did you came to the county and applied for a permit to place it?
That was not done at the time, and it was supposed to be done later on at a date. A new house was purchased to be placed on the property, shed a lot of light to stuff. So we've been, for the past year and a half, working through all the ADU requirements and making sure we met them. We had a building inspector come out and inspect everything that was done, tie downs, foundation, so that once we got the variance, they were ready to approve the dwelling to be there. We've met all requirements, changed the doors out to meet ADA requirements and stuff for the doors, foundation, tie downs, everything's all been pictured and inspected.
Just as a matter of housekeeping, the planners have recommended that this application be denied. And so I just want to put that out there. Occasionally when something like that happens, one of the members of the board might say, oh, well, will you meet us halfway and do this, that, or the other? But I just want, for housekeeping purposes, you to know.
I
it's
kind of
something.
understood that it possibly could be, but we wanted to meet all requirements and show good faith just prior to the meeting. So we shelled out the money and got everything done to bring it up to code. If the board figures otherwise, then I guess we got to go a different route. Hopefully they don't, because it would make a really hardship for a very nice old lady, but the board is the board.
Okay, thank you.
I totally understand. I deal with Del Dot Capital projects all the time. I understand the rules. So,
Okay, thank you.
no problem.
So I just want to clarify, when was that, unit, the proposed accessory dwelling placed on that spot?
I'm going to say it was maybe a year, to my knowledge, at the
And-
most.
Is it on piers, it's on block piers, or does it actually have a foundation running the entire
It is
perimeter?
on block piers with recommended pads underneath of the piers. Pillars, or footers, there you go, I'm sorry. All tie downs. I think we have 2 extra than we really require, the building guy said. So the tie downs are there, the pillars are there, footers are there. Like, we kind of went, I think, above and beyond to try and meet all requirements.
And in having it inspected, has the county inspected it as far as meeting the requirements?
Yeah, we had, I'm trying to think what was it, Scott? Scott Tanner. We've been dealing with Scott Tanner, and he's been reviewing the whole process since we started.
Okay, so just because I'm feeling a
That's
tiny bit
fine.
confused. So you applied to the county for a permit and were given a permit to place this?
No.
Okay.
No.
If I could maybe interject just to kind of
thank
clarify the timeline here. So they came in to get a permit for the new house. Before we can issue the CO to the new house, we understood that there was an ADU in the back, so they needed to come in and get approvals for us. We, at planning for the zoning approval, could not give it to them because they don't meet the setback. So they have applied for the building permit for the ADU, And as they stated, Scott Tanner in our building code has gone out to the site, and he did email me that they have what they need for that portion. So in terms of the building code, the structure meets those requirements. They then will also need to apply with us for the ADU approval if they are granted the variance.
Thanks, that's helpful.
So when this is all said and done, there will be two houses or two dwellings?
Two
on this,
dwellings on the property, correct?
and the trailer be removed?
Correct.
What's going on at that rear setback where if you end up being, I guess you're currently 9 feet from the rear setback? Are there neighbors behind that? Or
Yes. Well, behind the hedgerow, pretty much you can see right through here, that neighbor's a whole nother property here. So that blue
They're
line.
dwelling south. So do you see
Yeah,
where
that
they're
blue
dwelling?
line would be the property line there. So the neighbors on all sides do not object to anything with that. And like I said, and as you can see in the one picture, there is a hedgerow there blocking it, so there is obstructions if somebody had a view issue, but
Is there a reason you picked that particular spot to place it?
honestly, it was where we could fit the truck in at the time. Like trying to back it in and get it set as fast as possible because she was kind of on her way and we just had to make a move.
Are there any characteristics of the parcel that restricted the placement of the ADU? I mean, could it just as easily be moved within the building envelope, or are there issues with that?
Honestly, if I knew about the 15 feet at the time, I would have placed it and had the footers and everything done in that spot. I mean, now moving it, there is obstructions. I would rather not try to move it if possible because the footer's getting redone, electric, water, sewer, all hooked back up because this is all standalone on this. Regrading, to have positive drainage across the yard. It wouldn't be a weekend move. It would be a couple weeks to do it. At the time, if I had known about it, it would have been probably placed at the 15 feet, but
How old is the unit itself?
the unit is maybe a year and a half. It was like a half a year older when it was purchased. It's been there a year. It's all upgraded. I think they call it a tiny home, like all self-sustained. It's pretty expensive.
Just for staff, just so I'm clear, other than the variance, this would meet the county's requirements.
Correct.
So when the inspector came out for what I guess initially would be a footing inspection, did Mr. Tanner make any comments about where things were placed in keeping with the county regs?
This was after the fact still.
Yeah,
was
so
already- it was
Yeah,
existing.
he's coming after.
yeah, I brought him out to review and say, whatever you see wrong, tell me now.
Okay, all right.
That's why I was hoping to go ahead and fix everything that might be seen as wrong and correct it and show him proof that we've done it for good faith,
Okay.
just to show that we're being proactive against it to do it.
Realistically, though, it could have been placed along that back within the appropriate setback.
It had been tight against the
Okay.
original
It had been
septic.
tight, but it could have been
It had
done.
been tighter against the original
Okay.
septic, yes.
With the footers that are in the front of the house, would you be able to use them for the rear of the house if you were to move the house?
Possibly if I could line it up exactly on there, but it would be, honestly, if I'm going to do that, they would probably prefer to pour new footers.
4 new footers.
They would probably prefer that.
What type of dollar figure are you talking about to do that?
I haven't even, I would say, let's see, $5-6 grand to pour the footers and get it moved. That would just be the footers alone, then redo the tie downs. I think a guy just charged almost $1,000 to add a couple tie downs to it. And then find somebody to back up to it and remove it, along with the electric hookups, the sewer hookups again. We're talking a decent chunk of change.
Yeah, so this is your opportunity to tell us, or to tell the board.
I'd say every bit of $20,000-$30,000 to move it.
You know what the total project cost originally?
I'd have to pull receipts with the footers, because pretty much when we bought it, they set the footers, it was a package deal. So, I mean, we had close to $120,000 into the house itself, and the footers set up, all that was there. We had to run electric, sewer, and water to it, so we paid out of pocket for that and the private services and stuff to have those run.
Okay, so you started the project with this tiny house, this already where it was outside of the setbacks? Is that what?
Yeah, the brother-in-law had purchased a new home, and that's when it come to light. I guess when they went to planning and zoning for, I guess, approval of the new house and everything, that's when all of a sudden it kind of popped up to light. And then that's kind of at the point that I kind of got involved and said, okay, so let's just make it compliant and go through the steps. So that's when I got involved, and we started going through with Scott Tanner and coming up, give me a checklist, give me what you want, I'll go do it. Okay, I got it this done, you want to come give me a once over and tell me we're good, just for verbal before the variance. So I know we're compliant, and then we're just waiting on the variance. So that's how it all pretty much come to light.
Okay, so essentially, when you got involved, this, I tend to think of them in my mind as self-inflicted wounds. When somebody puts something there without finding out where it should be, what should be happening, or possibly sometimes I think, well, let's fudge it. But that's a self-inflicted wound. But it sounds to me like you did not inflict this wound. You walked in and it was already bleeding.
I did not, but I'm trying to fix it for the mother-in-law.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none? Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else present that would like to speak in favor of the application? Okay. Please come up to the podium. Please state your name and your address and allow our attorney to swear you in.
My name is Mickey Hughes. I'm the general manager at Clayton Homes, CMH Homes, and we're the ones who actually put the new home on the property.
Ma'am, if you could state your address and
I'm
allow
sorry.
our attorney to swear you
My
in.
personal address?
I believe so,
Business
yes.
address.
Any address. It could be your
4670
business address.
Okay, 4679 North DuPont Highway, Dover, 19901.
And did you say Vicki Hughes?
Mickey.
Mickey Hughes.
Mickey.
Ms. Hughes, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. So I just wanted to kind of point out also, when we started this project, we had applied for a permit for a new manufactured home to be placed on this property. We applied for the permit. The original permit was to connect to the existing well and to the existing septic. And then it was always understood that once we completed the project, then 30 days after we attained the CO, we would be removing the single wide. And that's still what we're gonna be doing. So during the process of this whole new construction, placing the new home on the property, it was brought to attention that this ADU, or tiny home as we call it, which had already been connected to the existing well, to the existing septic, to the existing electric, was within those, outside of those setbacks. We were not contracted to do anything with the tiny home. Basically, it was just putting the new structure on the home, removing the old one, and then connecting to all the existing utilities. During that time, we ran into an issue, though, with DNREC with the existing septic. So it was failing. So we had to go back to DNREC. We had to get a new perk test. We had to get a new mound system put on the property, which it had to be relocated from the old one, and which incurred Mr. Clow about another $40,000, $40,000 to $45,000 to put the septic system in, so we had to go through that process. We got a new septic permit. It had to be relocated. So when the gentleman was explaining about if you guys had to relocate, if you made him relocate that tiny home, it would be really, really hard to relocate it because we had to put a new mound system in a different location other than what the existing mound is. And that's a tight lot to begin with in the backyard, so the mound had to actually turn and go around. So that would be huge as far as, and then we went ahead, when we installed the new mound system, we connected everything with a pump and a chamber and everything to the tiny home. So it's fully connected to the new septic system because that was DNREC's requirement. So we had to meet all the requirements to make that new septic system legal, so to speak. So everything is connected to the new system. The old system's been abandoned. We got, we got the completion report from the DNREC, and we got we have a temporary certificate of occupancy for the new home because they required the single wide to be removed completely, and we had 30 days, and we're still within that 30-day period. So that's going to be done, and then the CO will be issued, the permanent CO will be issued. But that's another thing financially, what I wanted to kind of just explain is because they had already incurred $40,000 to $50,000 additional dollars to this contract for us to have to do the new septic system, plus connecting the new septic to the tiny home and everywhere else. Plus, the inspector, Scott Tanner, had required 2 additional anchoring systems. So my set crew that set the new home, they went out and they installed 2 for the tiny home just to make sure that everything was on the up and up. So relocating that tiny home, even to me, 6 or 8 feet forward is going to really cause some issues with where the existing septic, the new septic is, plus having to reconnect it all. Move its tank, move the pump, move everything.
Could you point on the screen where the old septic was?
Let's see, it was right here, and it went this way. Now the new septic is this way, running. And it's about, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but it's about, I want to say 75 feet in length. So you're running, and we couldn't really we couldn't run it anywhere on top of the old system, so all that's been abandoned. So we had to run, so DNREC, with the perk tests in design, ran it this way. So basically, if you took this tiny home, if we brought it up closer this way, it's gonna be very, very close to that new septic system.
Just try to speak into the mic, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's gonna be really close to that it's gonna be very, very tight, because we're gonna still have to run the pipe, run the new tank chamber and the pump, the tank, which feeds the tiny home.
And by law, you have to have clearances anyway from
You
that
do,
septic.
you do. You have to be a certain amount of, you got to be 10 feet, the tank's got to be 10 feet from the, any structure dwelling, and then, you know, so it's all going to have to be reformatted, redone, returned around to disconnect it from the tiny home and then reconnect it to the tiny home. So a lot of financial, a lot of manpower, yeah, for 6 feet. So, and like Nick said, back behind here where the tiny home is, there's really not anything back there other than trees and woods and stuff. So I don't, you know, nothing's ever going to get built back there.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yep, any questions? Any other? Nope, good, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Is there anyone else present that would like to speak in favor of the application? Is there anyone online?
There are no members of the general public online at this time.
Thank you. Is there anyone present that would like to speak in opposition of the application? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing for A25-31.
Thank you. With the public hearing closed, I don't think we need a break, just keep rolling. Everyone all right with that? I'm good for rolling. All right, we'll begin the business meeting. Want to call roll, Jesse, just.
Yes, sir. Mr. Carter?
Here.
Mr. Jenkins?
Here.
Miss Denny?
Here.
Mr. Gallo?
Here.
Mr. Cusick?
Here.
Thank you. That is 5 present.
Thank you. Minutes, we need approval of the business meeting minutes from October 16th meeting.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from the October meeting as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
One abstaining vote.
Thank you. Next up, we need approval of the notice of decisions from the October 16th meeting.
Make a motion, we accept the notice of decision for A2528 Burke and Burke Properties.
I second that.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
One abstaining.
Thank you. And new business. Looks like everyone's still here, so go in order.
Yes, sir. First application is A2530 for Gingrich. They are asking for a variance from the requirement that an accessory structure shall not be located in the front yard or front setback unless located 100 feet from the front property line to legalize the existing detached garage. The existing detached garage will be left at 94 feet.
Thank you. Any discussion or motion? No, we're on.
So we're on.
Make a motion that we approve A2530 for the 6-foot variance since it's an existing structure.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and a second?
Yes, sir. Mr. Gallo?
I vote in favor of the motion. I believe the applicant demonstrated an exceptional practical difficulty with the movement of that garage.
Thank you. Mr. Jenkins?
I voted in support of the motion for application A25-30. When you look at the 4 standards for granting the variance, I think she checked the box on each one. So,
Thank you. Miss Denny?
I see an exceptional practical difficulty here that would just be created by the expense of trying to move. I mean, and it seems pretty much a stretch to try and orchestrate that. So you know, I'm not setting a precedence here, but I do think that this, this this is an issue that should be fixed, so,
So you vote yes?
yes.
Thank you. Mr. Carter?
I vote in favor of my motion based on testimony tonight and the staff recommendation.
Thank you. Mr. Cusick?
I vote yes for the motion. I think this one checks all four criteria here and per staff recommendation.
Thank you. That is 5 in favor.
Thank you. With 5 in favor, application A25-30 is approved.
Our second application is A25-31 for Daniel Clow. They are asking for a variance from the requirement that a detached accessory dwelling unit shall maintain half of the principal structure's rear setback to apply for a detached accessory dwelling unit. The ADU is looking to be 9 feet from the rear property line.
Thank you. Any discussion? Or motion?
There's an awful lot going on here. I'll start out with that.
Well, there's not a lot of room left on this property. And based on the testimony that was given this evening, it appears as though you've got, you know, septic-ish mounds, you've got all kinds of issues, and, you know, Denrec's been out. And obviously, they have the last word when it comes to where things go. So I think, again, this shouldn't be a routine thing, but I do believe that there is an exceptional practicality here because of just the lay of the land and the distance of the tiny home. Now, all that said, I think anybody who's, you know, in all the 20-some, I don't know, however many years I've been here, but I'm not a fan of the don't ask, apologize aspect. I think before somebody does this, especially somebody, you know, like sometimes a homeowner will just start building something in their backyard. I don't love that. But when you have somebody who has a license to do business in Kent County, Delaware, to do this kind of thing, they ought to know what they're doing, and they ought to know and understand that you have to have permits. So that said, you know, this is difficult, but I do see that there's really no other place for this to be because of the septic and the mounds.
I think it would be good to point out as well, as far as improvement of the property, they're essentially putting 2 new houses on the property. So they're upgrading the condition that it was before. And the county does look to promote development of accessory dwelling units. Of course, they're supposed to fall within the guidelines and the provisions. The lot itself sits, the location of the proposed accessory dwelling is far from the residence on the neighboring property, and it is shielded by a tree line. And I think that should be considered.
Yeah, that's a very important point.
I agree with Mr. Gallo on that. Okay, so I make a motion on application A2531 that that a variance be approved for based on that 9-foot setback, and the reasons being that based on the septic mound and everything else that is complicated on this piece of property, that if they're going to put it, that's where it needs to go, and it has to be in that 9-foot setback. I think, again, this is really, this is a stretch, and I definitely see an exceptional practical difficulty created by just the septic and mounds and, you know, everything else that goes here. I would like to see the building that needs to be removed all taken care of as prior to the next step. And so that's my motion, that the variance that is approved for the 9-foot setback and the extra building has to be removed prior to the permit, or as well, you have to have a permit to do that, but in that process.
Second.
Motion and second.
Thank you. Mr. Jenkins?
I vote in support of the motion for application A25-31 for a couple of reasons. First, there's obviously an exceptional practical difficulty in relationship to the utilities and the improvements that were attempted to be made to get everything correct, to try to straighten everything out. So I vote in support of the motion based on those reasons, and the idea that the property has been upgraded from its previous condition.
Thank you. Mr. Gallo?
I vote in favor of the motion. I think the building is in keeping with the location, and the homeowner, the applicant did demonstrate an exceptional practical difficulty in this case, given the other improvements they made on the property.
Thank you. Mr. Carter?
I vote in favor of the motion. I think that the cost to correct the problems is the practical exceptional difficulty. So therefore, I support the motion.
Thank you. Ms. Denny?
I vote yes. In keeping with my motion, I believe that there is an exceptional practical difficulty created here just by the size of the property and what they're trying to do. And we are encouraging these ADUs, and I think that this would be a good example. It's a place to house a senior who's not going to be able to function on their own.
Thank you. Mr. Cusick?
I vote in favor of the motion. Yeah, I think this one fits within the character of the area, as well as no impact on the neighboring properties. And then per the testimony tonight, the financial hardship that is there to pick up that 6 feet, I don't think is. And then also with the the new septic area that's going there. So yeah, I think checks all the 4 criteria for me.
Thank you. That is 5 in favor.
Thank you. 5 in favor. Application A25-31 is approved. Motion adjourned.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye.